Hey everyone, welcome back. We love to dig into this stuff you guys are really thinking about. And lately, it seems like everyone's got AI and the 2024 elections on their minds, right? Makes sense. It's a pretty huge deal.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's like drinking from a fire hose, honestly.
Seriously, I feel like every day there's a new headline about AI, and it's hard to know what to believe or even where to start.
Right. It's one of those things that's both fascinating and terrifying at the same time.
Totally. And I think that's a good place to start for our deep dive today. The good, the bad, and the potentially really ugly ways this tech is shaping the political landscape.
Sounds like a plan. Let's do it.
Okay, so this article from the Register really caught my eye. It talks about this accord signed by a bunch of tech giants to fight AI election misinformation.
Oh, yeah, that was big news.
Yeah, Google, Microsoft, even TikTok. It's like they all suddenly decided to get together and promise to protect us from the AI apocalypse.
Well, it sounds good in theory, right? I mean, who doesn't want to protect our elections from being manipulated by AI?
Exactly. But then you start reading the fine print of this accord, and it gets a little, well, a little fuzzy.
Fuzzy, how so?
It's like they're throwing around all the right buzzwords, watermarks, content labeling, but there's no real substance, no concrete plan on how they're actually going to do any of this.
So it's one of those, we'll get back to you on that situations.
It's like they all agreed to be seen together holding hands, but nobody wants to be the one to actually take out the trash.
Which makes you wonder, is this a genuine effort or just a PR move to appease the public without actually rocking the boat too much?
Right. Like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. I mean, we're already seeing the real-world consequences of AI misinformation, and it's not pretty.
And it's not new either. Remember back in 2020, TikTok was already grappling with this.
Oh, yeah, with coordinated disinformation campaigns.
Exactly. They ended up banning political ads altogether and partnering with fact-checkers to try to stay ahead of the curve.
Which begs the question, if TikTok was already on this back then, why are these other tech giants only just now signing a vague agreement?
Well, it's a double-edged sword, right? On the one hand, you've got the very real threat of AI being used to disrupt elections, but on the other, you have concerns about censorship and stifling innovation.
It's a tough balance to strike, for sure, and the stakes couldn't be higher.
Especially with 2024 shaping up to be such a pivotal election year, and not just here in the U.S., but globally.
It's true. But we'll get into the global implications a bit later. For now, let's shift and talk about what another tech giant, Meta, has been up to with its own election strategy, because they've been making some interesting moves lately.
Yeah, so Meta's taking a different tack than the Accord bunch,
Yeah. What are they up to?
Transparency's the name of their game this time around.
Transparency, how so?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not exactly known for being the most open company out there.
True, but for these 2024 elections, they're really trying to get ahead of this whole AI thing, especially when it comes to political ads.
Oh, interesting. So, like, what specifically are they doing?
So get this, they're going to make advertisers say if they used AI in their political ads. Like, straight up disclose it.
So, like, are we talking deepfakes here? Those videos where they make it look like a candidate is saying or doing something they never actually did?
Deepfakes too, yeah, but it goes beyond that. Think like AI-tweaked voices, subtle changes to how someone looks, even just making them appear to say something they didn't.
So even if it's not like a full-blown deepfake, they're still going to have to come clean if they used AI to sweeten the pot, so to speak.
Right. It's all about giving voters the full picture, So we can decide for ourselves if we're being manipulated.
If they can actually pull it off. I mean, how do you even enforce something like that? Can they really police every single political ad out there?
That is the million-dollar question, right? It's a
Yeah.
massive undertaking, for sure. They're going to need some seriously sophisticated tech to detect this stuff, and probably a lot of human eyeballs, too.
Yeah, that makes sense. So how does this all work in practice then? Like, say I'm scrolling through my feed and I see a political ad. How would I know if it's been flagged for using AI?
So that's where their ad library comes in. They already keep a record of all the political ads on their platform. Right? Anyone can go and see who paid for an ad, what message it's promoting. Now with this new policy, you'll be able to see if it was flagged for using AI, too.
So it's like adding another layer of accountability to the whole system.
Exactly. It's about time, right?
Yeah.
This tech is so powerful, and it's evolving so quickly. We need safeguards like this to make sure it's not being abused.
I hear you on that. So Meta's all about transparency, trying to empower voters. Google's got that whole toolkit approach going on. It's like the Wild West of tech out there. Their blog post, How We're Approaching the 2024 U.S. Elections, kind of lays out their game plan. What struck me right away was this whole idea of using AI to fight AI.
It's pretty cutting edge, actually. LLMs to build super fast content moderation systems. Basically, an AI that's read everything on the internet multiple times.
Okay, that's a lot of cat videos.
Uh,
But I'm guessing those LLMs are looking for something a little more specific.
They're trained to spot AI-generated misinformation, stuff designed to mislead voters. It's like a digital arms race, with both sides trying to outsmart each other.
So instead of humans playing whack-a-mole with fake news, Google's building AI that can keep up with, well, other AI. Makes sense, but is it enough?
That's the big question, and that's why what Google's doing with Synthid is so interesting. It's this tool, still in beta from Google DeepMind, that acts like a digital watermark embedded in AI-generated images and audio.
So, like,
Yeah.
if I create a cool image with AI, Synthid can prove it's mine.
It's a way to verify authenticity, which is going to be crucial for fighting deepfakes and other AI-generated content designed to deceive. And then there's the cybersecurity aspect. Google's partnering with Defending Digital Campaigns, or DDC, to give campaigns tools like Titan security keys.
What in the world is a Titan security key?
Think of it as a physical shield for online accounts. It plugs into your computer or phone and adds an extra layer of protection, making it much harder for hackers to get in, even if they somehow got your password.
Ah, so it's about protecting campaigns from being hacked or manipulated. Because let's face it, in today's world, that's a real threat. So we've got Google out there trying to be the superhero of truth and security. But are we even sure there are shenanigans to spot? Or is this more like a future problem?
Oh, it's definitely a thing right now. It's not theoretical at all. We actually have an article here from WEFT. It's from PolitiFact Florida specifically. And they talk about how some not-so-nice folks are using AI-generated audio to spread election misinformation.
Oh, well, hold on, AI audio. So we're not even talking about deepfakes anymore. Now they're just making stuff up in, like, fake voices.
Pretty much. And the scary part is it's actually cheaper and easier to do than creating deepfake videos. And often just as convincing.
So how does that even work? Are they hiring voice actors to sound like candidates or something?
Nope, they don't need to. This technology has gotten so good that you can literally create a realistic-sounding voice clone with just a few minutes of audio.
That's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, and they even give a specific example in the article. This TikTok video that went viral, it had AI-generated voice claiming Trump was dropping out of the race.
No way. And people fell for it.
Thousands of views before TikTok caught on and took it down.
See, that's what freaks me out about all this. Anyone with an internet connection and some shady intentions can become a master manipulator.
And a whole lot of people, especially with all the deep-rooted issues we're already facing, you know, that erosion of trust in institutions, the feeling that systems are rigged, AI just throws gasoline on that fire.
It's like we can't even agree on what's real anymore, let alone have a productive conversation about how to fix it.
And it's not just a U.S. thing either. The World Economic Forum article we have, it talks about how this could impact elections globally. Like, this is a big deal.
Okay, so we've established that this is a big, hairy global problem. But what can we actually do about it? It feels like every solution you hear is either too hands-off or too close to censorship.
It's a tough nut to crack, for sure. I mean, regulating AI is like trying to nail jelly to a wall. You know, it's constantly changing, it's hard to define, and if you come down too hard, you risk stifling all the good it can do.
Right, because it's not all bad. It's a tool.
And that's what makes this so tricky. But one thing that both the World Economic Forum and the Brookings article highlight is the importance of education. Like, we need to arm people with the knowledge and skills to navigate this new landscape. Teaching people how to spot misinformation, how to think critically about what they see online, how to tell a real voice from a fake one.
It's like we all need to become amateur AI detectives just to survive in this new world.
In a way, yeah. But it's not just about spotting the fakes. It's about understanding how this technology works, how it's being used, and how to make sure it doesn't undermine our democracy.
This has been heavy. You've given us a lot to think about, that's for sure.
For sure. But that's what this is all about, right? Having these tough conversations and trying to figure out a path forward, because the choices we make today, they're going to shape the future of our elections and our democracy. And that's something worth fighting for.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So on that note, folks, stay informed, stay vigilant, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.